Alright, so last week we learned what LCM was, and what we determined last week is LCM is the least common multiple. That means it's the smallest number that two or more numbers have in common when you list out your multiplication. List out your multiples in your multiplication problem. So for instance, 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 3, 9, and so forth. That's what your multiples are, and then circling and finding your number that is the smallest one they both have in common. So remember, we made our t-chart and we began to list our multiples down. But now they're throwing them into word problems. So you have to be able to determine what words tell you that this is a least common multiple word problem. So if you forget, remember on slide 6, we had talked about the words that are in word problems that tell us it's an LCM problem. If you forget it, you always have your math notebook that you can click on that will take you to that chart, or you can just go back to slide 6. All right, so let's begin. 2 volunteer groups plant trees. Group A plants the trees in clusters of 3. Group B plants the trees in clusters of 10. Both groups plant the same number of trees. What is the least number of clusters that group B plants? Okay, so you have your question, what is the least number of clusters that group B plants, but you have this least number in it. This least number is what's important. You also have this both groups. Remember I said the word both of something when things are in both parties and they want to know when they both are doing something and when they'll do them together again, or the least number of clusters that they may do. And then you have the number 10 that you're using and the number 3 that you're using. But your key word is that least number. Okay, so again, you have all your tools over here. So you create your t-chart. Create the t-chart, and they can look at, I'll put my first box up here, which is 3, and then my second box, I'll drag it over here, 10, and then I'll bring my text boxes over to list my multiples. So I'll start with 3. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 7, 21. 3 times 8, 24. 3 times 9, 27. And 3 times 10 is 30. Then I'm going to list my facts, my multiples of 10. I'm going to start with 10, 20, 30, 40. Oops, I went too much because I technically can stop. And the reason that I can stop is, whoa, because I have a 30 in my 3 column and a 30 in my 10 column. They're both that's the smallest number that until when I was doing my multiples that they both have in common. So the least number of clusters that group B plants is 30.